See somebody wearing some piece of clothing and is faded, oh my goodness, it's a terrible sight. It's a terrible sight because it not only looks terrible as a clothing on its own, it makes the person to look very, very broke and sad and pathetic. And that's hello, welcome back to another episode of this series where I take you through this interesting journey of discovering the potential of your clothes and making sure you keep them to the very end of time. Not like clothes are very, very important like that, because your life is more important than what you wear, but then yeah, you get to wear them every day, right? So you just want to care for them, right? And yes, I'm putting on this exuberant piece of Ankara jacket. It's very typical of an Ankara print, right? Of an African print. Very, very colorful, very brilliant. I mean, we wear them as what we call a shwabi, like there could be a wedding or a funeral and you have to show up in something like this with a bunch of like 50 other people, yeah, or it's just part of our lifestyle. And recently it's become something very, very trendy because you can rock African prints in everything. You even have them used now in interior decor, you have them used now in accessories, and yeah, it's a big thing. In today's video, I'd like to share with you how to take care of your African print, especially because most of your African clothes have no care labels in my last video, I spoke about care labels. All clothes should have it. That's like something required, but for some reason most African clothes don't have care labels in them. A couple of brands are coming up to it, but then I mean, that's just a few. And I actually found interesting sites where they put up like a care manual for all of their clothes. Interesting, right? But today I'll help you if you don't get to have those clothes, or if you don't get to find any care labels and you don't want to lose them clothes soon enough, then you're in the right place. Your clothes are going to thank you for watching this video. Most African prints are made with cotton. Well, before it was 100%, but right now you're getting many blends, and the blends help them to achieve a more achieve more in the sense of they could have a broader range of, you know, prices, and now they can have a larger market. Yes, so I'm going to be giving you general tips. There will be specifics for any new blends, and that will be the responsibility of the manufacturer. 1, wash your clothes. Hand wash them, please. This is not good news for you who doesn't like washing your clothes and have access to a washing machine. Wait a minute, I'll come to you, okay? So 1, wash your clothes, lukewarm water. And when it comes to washing, we are very, very concerned with bleeding, so wash light colors alike, and always have a test wash. If possible, have a test wash when you make your clothes, right? That usually you could have an extra piece. Try if it bleeds, and when I say it bleeds, I mean it loses its color. If it does, you want to add vinegar or salt into the, you know, process when you're washing, and yay. And then this tip too, don't over ring. No, don't. Like, we do those things. I mean, you could save your palms as well as your clothing. You don't need to over ring. Hang it nicely. And the kind of sun that I have right now is not the kind of sun that you want your clothes to be hanging in, so I would advise that you hang them in a shade or in the morning when the sun is still rising. Yes, and they're gonna dry nicely. Okay, iron. You're going to iron your prints with the cotton temperature, the cotton settings, right? Usually these prints can withstand quite an amount of heat, so you're safe. You are safe, but I would advise though that you do the pressing on the wrong side of your clothing at least first before you go to this part of it, especially because sometimes your heat may have to, like, it may cause some sheen, or it may cause like some colors to come off, and that would be in the case of very poor quality, like, of course. But then start on the inside and work your way to the outside. Use steam. Make sure you have steam. You use steam when you're pressing them, because the steam is going to do the job well. and faster. I mean, you don't need to keep going over and going over and going over. The steam kind of like just makes the fiber to unwind wherever they did wind and settle down nicely, and it gives you a nice product, a nice end product. You don't have to wash your clothes every single day. You adult, you don't have to wash your clothes every single day. And this doesn't sound nice for you freaks who wash your clothes, like you put on something and you put it, drop in the washer. With your African prints, you don't want to overwash them because they have the tendency to lose their brilliance. They have the tendency to lose their color. You don't want to overwash them, so wash when it's extremely necessary. When you come back, when I take off this jacket, I'm just gonna hang it in a cool, dry place that is, ventilated, and then I can take it back to my closet and wear it a couple of times. Of course, then you can wash. If you really have to wash your clothes in the machine, you want to make sure your machine is on a gentle wash setting. You also want to make sure you're using cool temperature. You're not using hot temperature. You want to make sure that you turn off the spin option, because the spin option is just gonna too much agitation, too much, and this is too much for this beautiful piece of artworks. So you want to turn that off. And of course, the same thing when you put it in the dryer, you want to take your heat down a little bit, and you want to as much avoid spin, all of that. Yeah, so that's what you're going to do. The idea here is just to maintain a gentle process. And of course, remember, even if the same rules apply, wash like colors together. And if you try it and there is some sort of bleeding, you want to add vinegar or salt to it. I want you to look at the construction of it as well. If you have a beautiful Ankara jacket, usually there's a lot of padding on the inside of it. Like what I'm wearing, it doesn't have a lot of padding, but then you have a lot of padding. Let's say an appropriate blazer. You have a lot of padding on the inside. You don't want to ruin that padding with a lot of ringing and spinning and all of that. So I really advise you go ahead and dry clean that. I'll advise you do so. And also, if you have a lot of things added to it, like rhinestones, buttons, and applique lace added to it, just add it to it. You also want to avoid the spinning and the ringing. Of course, you avoid that, but I'm just saying this, just if for some reason you're going to forget and leave your machine and spin, it shouldn't be when you have some clothing with a lot of design applications on it, because those things are going to fall off in the machine. They're gonna fall off, or they may break as well. So you want to take note of that. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out, but if I did, I trust you to remind me. If you're watching this video and this is your area of expertise, just say something in the comments area. Say something, help your brothers and sisters out. We are out here losing clothes. Like when you see somebody wearing some piece of clothing and it's faded, oh my goodness, it's a terrible sight. It's a terrible sight, because it not only looks terrible as the clothing on its own, it makes the person to look very, very broke and sad and pathetic, and that's not it. For my viewers out there, you want to keep looking joyful, you want to keep having a nice life, you want to keep rocking your clothes and showing up wherever you are, showing up beautifully. So let me know if there's something I left out. Ask a question if you want to ask, and say something. What do you think about Ankara prints? Personally, I think there could be too much. Like what I'm wearing right now, I think this is just too much, like too much for some occasions as well. And that brings me to the end of today's video. Of course, subscribe so many others can find this video. I would really love for many people to find this video, because what's the point to take out a couple of hours of my day to make these videos and nobody watches them, right? Oh my goodness. Yep. So have a beautiful day, guys. God bless you.